Hello everyone, I hope and pray that you are well. I'm just going to take a few moments to walk through our latest COVID update. I'll just read through some of the sections of it, and the good news is that many of us are going to be able to come back here. You see the warm glow of Narnia over my shoulder here, and gather again for worship this Sunday. Northern Health's announcement this past week that in-person worship services are once again permitted brings, to be honest, some mixed feelings from many of us. You know, of course, there's a certain amount of excitement, especially around the Christmas season, that we can gather again for worship. But on the other, there's this concern that this excludes those who haven't been vaccinated and threatens a certain degree of division within the body. So we want to be very careful about that. Council, the COVID safety team have weighed these matters prayerfully, decided to indeed open again this Sunday our church for worship services to those who've been vaccinated. We're going to continue to make our services available online to everybody who's not able to attend in person. And we're going to review this decision at the end of January when the current Northern health orders end. So these guidelines now include that mask wearing is mandatory for everybody that's age 5 and up in all indoor spaces, including in worship spaces and churches. The exceptions are those that are actively leading singing or reading or preaching or praying, and those if you're consuming the elements, the bread and the wine at communion. We continue to be at 50% of capacity based on kind of the yellow tape, which still blocks off every other pew. So we're at 50% capacity. And we encourage, certainly in the fellowship hall here, social distancing after the service, and just reiterate that mask wearing is mandatory unless you're actively eating or drinking. Again, to comply with the Northern Health order, please contact the church email at community@terracecrc.org. Contact the church with the names of anybody that's 12 and over from your household that's going to be attending worship, and then just indicate that they are vaccinated for COVID-19. And so that's all the email has to say, the names and that they're vaccinated, that you're vaccinated for COVID-19. Send that in. You just have to do that once. Or if you don't do that and you just physically come to the church, there's some slips of paper here that you just write your name on, and then you just check a box indicating that you're vaccinated for COVID-19, and then just insert those into the little box that's here. That's a way for us to keep track. Again, emailing is easiest. It's the easiest way to keep track. And the information is only going to be viewed by somebody from the COVID safety team. Committee and business meetings are continue to be allowed in the building with mandatory masking. Other ministries can also take place in the building provided there's adequate spacing and masking, and that all the participants that are 12 and over are vaccinated. Now, the COVID safety team and council do reiterate our commitment to following public health guidelines. We are grateful for you, for the congregation's adaptability during some pretty challenging times. And we're also thankful for your continued compliance to these guidelines. So do also, you'll see in the bulletin and the email this weekend, check out our information about our Christmas and New Year's services that have kind of reopened for some of those services that were going to just be online. And if you've got any questions or concerns, talk to somebody on council, an elder, a deacon, a pastor. We'd be happy to kind of have that conversation. These are not easy things, and please continue to pray for our church, for our church council, for our COVID safety team, for the entire congregation as we navigate these matters. The peace of the Christ child be with you in abundance this Advent.